Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are on page 161 of your student journal. And before we begin today, our problem of the day is going to be reminding ourselves about multiplying decimals. So my first problem is 2 6/10 times 1 7/10. Okay, when I multiply decimals, I don't want to line up the decimal. That's not my goal, but sometimes it's going to line itself up. So notice that I didn't purposely line it up. I just ignored the decimal and it lined itself up. That's fine. So again, we don't purposefully line up the decimal. We just set up the numbers ignoring the decimal. Then we multiply ignoring the decimal. So I get 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 4 is 18. My placeholder, 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 2 is 2, and then I add them and I get 2, 14, and 4. So my answer is not 442. This is the main part about multiplying decimals, is I have to remember this thing called loop. So in my problem, which my two factors, I have 2 loops, which means in my product or my answer, I need 2 loops. So my answer is actually 4 42/100. Okay, here is your problem to try on your own. 2 1/10 times 4 1/10. Okay, after you've completed that, then let's get started on our lesson for the day. So our lesson today is about kind of understanding multiplying fractions. We're gonna just really understand what happens. So our goal today is, today I will reason, which means understand and make sense, multiplying whole numbers by fractions. Sorry, I went over there. By fractions greater or less than 1. So let me kind of read that over again. So today we're gonna reason or make sense of multiplying whole numbers by fractions that are greater or less than 1. So we're gonna do both of them. Sometimes it'll be greater than 1 and sometimes it will be less than 1. I think of our vocabulary, the only main word that we really need to look at today is the identity property. So the identity property of multiplication says the product of any number multiplied by 1 is that number. This property is also known as the multiplication property of 1, which means 7 times 1 is 7. 8 times 1 is 8. 15 times 1 is 15. So when you multiply a number by 1, its identity doesn't change. It stays exactly the same. Okay, our steps today are we're going to read the problem. Then we're going to draw a diagram. We're going to draw what this actually looks like. Then we're going to reason about the first factor and then reason about the second factor. Okay, so let's kind of get started. Here is my first problem. And it says, Albert has 7 pitchers. He will pour 3/8 of a gallon of orange juice into each pitcher. Will the total amount of orange juice be greater than or less than 7? Okay, so what he has going on here is he has 7 times 3/8. Because he is going to have 7 pitchers and each pitcher is going to have 3/8. And they want me to know, will the amount of juice be greater than 7 or less than 7? Okay, so that's my problem. I'm going to draw this. So here's going to be my 7 pitchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And each pitcher, I'm going to fill up 3/8, which means I need to divide each pitcher into eighths. So again, I like to do halves and then fourths and then eighths. So let me get each of these into eighths. Okay. So each pitcher now is divided into eighths, and in each pitcher, he's going to pour 3/8 of a gallon of juice. So that's pitcher 1, pitcher 2, pitcher 3, pitcher 4, pitcher 5, pitcher 6, and pitcher 7. Okay, so let's think about this. He has 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, and 3/8. So if I add 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, that's going to give me 21/8. Now, 21/8, if I added those up, definitely I'm not going to have 7 full pitchers. I know the amount of juice is going to be less than 7 whole gallons, because even if I moved some of these into other gallons, my answer is less than 7. But we've also talked about that in and out strategy that I've talked about. So I could say 8 is my divisor and 21 is my dividend. So 8 can go into 21 twice. 2 times 8 is 16, and I'm left with 5/8. So 21/8 is the same as 2 5/8. So lots of times we think when we multiply, our numbers get larger. But because I was multiplying by a number that was smaller than 1, my answer is actually going to go down. So my answer, even though I'm multiplying by 7, my answer is smaller than 7 because I was multiplying by something that's less than 1. So my answer is 21/8 or 2 5/8, but it's definitely less than 7. And that's because 3/8 is less than 1. So 7 times 1 would have given me 7, but if I multiply by something smaller than 7, then my answer is going to be less than 7. Okay, let's look at another one. This now says Albert has 7 pitchers again, but this time he's going to pour 1 2/9 gallons of orange juice into each pitcher. Will the amount of orange juice be greater than or less than 7 gallons? Okay, so he has 7 pitchers, and each one's going to have 1 2/9 gallons. So this one I'm going to have to draw a little bit different. So he's going to have a pitcher of lemonade. I think I might do like ovals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are his 7 pitchers. And each pitcher he's going to put 1 whole and then 2/9. So let's see, he's going to have 1 whole gallon and then he's going to have 2/9 in each pitcher, which is why you see me drawing this one a little different. There's the 1 whole gallon, and then he's going to have 2/9 of a gallon in each pitcher. So this pitcher has 1 whole gallon, and then it's going to have 2/9 in it. You know, I wish they left us more room to draw. 1 whole gallon, and then 2/9 in this pitcher. 1 whole gallon, and then 2/9 in this pitcher. And 1 whole gallon, and then 2/9 in this picture. Okay, so let's go back and draw color. So this picture has 1 2/9. This picture has 1 2/9. This picture has 1 2/9. This one has 1 2/9. This picture has 1 whole and 2/9. 1 whole and 2/9, and 1 whole and 2/9. So obviously, just by looking at my picture or my model, I can see that my answer is going to be greater than 7 because I have 7 whole gallons, plus I have some other extras in these 2/9. So, and if I wanted to figure out my answer, what could we say? I have 7 wholes, but then how many ninths do I have? I have 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I have 14 ninths. 7 wholes, and I have 14 ninths. And then if we wanted to do our in and out, 9 can go into 14 once, and when I subtract, I get 5/9. So I have 7 and then 1 and 5/9. So I actually have, my answer is 8 and 5/9. So this time when I multiplied 7, my answer is larger than 7. Oops, sorry, 7 and 5/9. My answer is larger than 7. It's greater. And the reason is because I multiplied 7 by something that was greater than 1. So up here I multiplied 7 by something that's smaller than 1, so my answer is less than 7. Here I multiplied 7 by something that's greater than 1, so my answer is greater than 7. So here I would say it's greater than 7. And it's because of what I multiplied 7 by. Okay, so let's try some of these. We're on page 162. And our first problem says, the gas station has 5 gas tanks. They fill each tank with 2/5 of a liter of gasoline. Will the total amount of gas be greater or less than 5 liters? Okay, so they have 5 gas tanks and each one has 2/5. Okay, so before we draw our picture, let's think. 2/5 is smaller than 1. So if I multiply 5 by something smaller than 1, I'm thinking it's going to be less than 5. Let's see if that's true. So let's draw our 5 liters of gas. And each one we have to divide into fifths. And I have 2/5 of each one. So 2/5 of that one, 2/5 of that one. So we have 2/5 of each one. So I have 2/5, another 2/5, another 2/5, another 2/5, another 2/5. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So we have 10/5. And if we use our in and out strategy for that, we could say 5 can go into 10 twice. And 2 times 5 is 10 with nothing left. So that would just equal 2. And that's what I guessed. My answer would be less than 5, and it's because I multiplied by something smaller than 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times something smaller than 1 is going to be smaller than 5. And 5 times something larger than 1 is going to be larger than 5. Okay, let's look at our next one. The gas station has 5 gas tanks. They fill each tank with 1 and 5/6 liters of gasoline. Will the total amount of gas be greater than or less than 5 liters? So it's 5 times 1 and 5/6. So okay, I'm multiplying 5 by something that's greater than 5. So do you think the answer is going to be greater or less than 5? And I'm hoping you're thinking it's going to be greater than. So let's see if we can prove why. Okay, because this is a mixed number, I'm going to do these like ovals again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inside each one, we need 1 and 5/6. So we need 1 whole, and then we need 5/6. So we need 1 whole, and then we need 5/6 inside each one. 1 whole and 5/6 inside each one. Okay, so we have each tank has 1 and 5/6. So definitely my answer is going to be bigger than 5 because I have 5 holes plus I have all this other stuff. So I have 1 whole and 5/6 in each tank. So I have how many holes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I have 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here. So I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 sixths. And if we wanted to use that in and out strategy, and we don't have a lot of room here, so I could say 6 can go into 25 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24, so I get 4 and 1/6. But 4 and 1/6 is just what this equals. I already had 5, So it's 5 plus 4 and 1/6 equals 9 and 1/6. So I was right. My answer is greater than 5, and it's because I was multiplying 5 by something that's greater than 5. I'm sorry, the greater than 1. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you have the next couple pages to try on your own. Have a good day.